Welcome back to another video. Today I'm filming another full day of eating. I am currently making my breakfast, so if you've watched my last full day of eating, exactly the same breakfast. Yogurt bowl with some chia seeds in to get a good fibre hit just to start the day. So I've currently got 50 grams of blueberries frozen that I've just had in the microwave for a minute and a half just to make it into like a kind of jam-like texture. Now about to add 200 grams of the zero fat Onken yogurt. And then I will also add in 20 grams of chia seeds, and I also put a little bit of my protein flavour drops in this, just to help sweeten the yogurt slightly, just because sometimes it can be a little bit sour with the berries and everything. So I'm using I think it's butter biscuit. It's kind of like a Biscoffee style. Sometimes I put vanilla in. It kind of just depends what I've got in the cupboard, and I don't think I've got much vanilla left. So yeah, currently got my yogurt and berries in the bowl. Going to add a few drops of my protein, butter biscuit flavour drops. Like I say, just to sweeten it a little bit, just so that it's not too sour. Because sometimes if I use raspberries rather than blueberries, it ends up being incredibly sour, and I'm not okay with that. So yeah, then I'm gonna add 20 grams of chia seeds. Although I am nearly out of chia seeds, so this is also going to be a somewhat lazy full day of eating because we don't have tons of food in the house. We are starting to run low on a few staples. And it's also a really busy day for me, so it is Tuesday. Tuesdays are like my busiest day of the week. I was up this morning at 6:30 to walk Zuko, came home about 7:10, jumped straight in the shower, logged on to my computer to start work as early as possible, just to try and get a little bit ahead, because recently I have been training way too late on a Tuesday, and I want to do that. And it's also Zuko's birthday today. You can probably hear me, his biscuits in the background. So I want to actually spend some time with him as well this afternoon. We got him way too many presents from Pets at Home yesterday, although we're not going to give him everything today. So yeah, I've got my bowl, I've got berries, yogurt, chia seeds, some sweetener. I'm going to give it a mix, and then I'm going to add 20 grams of dark chocolate chips on top. I'll put the macros up on the screen. I really enjoy starting my day with this just because it forces me to get a good amount of fibre in first thing in the morning. And also I find like if as the day goes on, like I always track my macros first thing in the morning. So I've planned out my full day of eating already. But if it gets later in the day and I'm fancying a sweet treat and I've not had this meal yet, I will then typically take this meal out and replace it, which means I then end up taking quite a hit on my fibre for the day, which isn't a bad thing. Obviously some days are going to be better than others, but I also find starting my day with this kind of curbs that sweet craving quite a lot. Like I have a major sweet tooth, and this is always quite a nice way to start the day. So yeah, I'm going to add 20 grams dark chocolate chips, eat that up, and then I'll check in with you guys for meal number 2, which to be honest, I'm feeling very hungry this morning, so it won't probably be too long until we get there. Okay, so it's now 10, so I managed to wait 2 hours before my next meal. Not a very aesthetic meal. I've literally just got a wholemeal pitta with 4 muscle food pork and red onion, caramelised red onion sausages, and an egg in there. Essentially just a bit of protein hit. Want to get some carbs in. Nice, fairly balanced macros. Very beige meal. But again, we are kind of running low on everything. But that's all fine. Just put some onion in with the egg as well, just to add something a bit extra to it so it wasn't quite as boring. But yeah, macros up on the screen. Going to go and eat that, and then I'll have my lunch around like probably 12:30ish. It's now just gone 10, so yeah, gonna go eat that. I've literally just been sat at my desk all day. Like it's not been a very glamorous day. Like up early to walk Zuko, get home, shower, sit at my desk for about half an hour, 45 minutes, have breakfast, and then just cram at my desk again. And that is probably going to be most of my day. I'm hoping that I can get my work done by about 2:30, and then I will be, well, I might chill out for like an hour and then train, but we'll see. But yeah, pretty standard Tuesday. It's just quite a busy day, but I'm just trying to start my day earlier on Tuesdays now so I can just get ahead. It is 12:30. Actually, I think it's just gone that. It's 22:01. I have just made my next meal. I'm so hungry today. But that's fine. I'm still going to stick to everything that I've planned. And because it's a training day where I've got quite a long training session as well, although I'm really hungry at the moment, I know that when I'm in the gym, I'm not going to obviously be thinking about food. I've got pre-workout meal and stuff planned. I think I've got a bowl of cereal tracked for today. And I know that like I'll have that. And once I'm in the gym, I'm not really going to be thinking about food. And then we've got to walk Zuko after I've done my main lifts here. And then it'll be go straight to the gym down the road, do accessories, come home and have my final meal of the day. So like, at the moment when I'm sat at my desk, I am thinking about food constantly because that's just what happens when I'm sat at my desk all day. Like it's very normal. This is why office workers, like there's always snacks and stuff in an office and things like that, like in an office environment. And it's the same working from home. If not, like I know I think I find it worse than when I've been in the office. Like when I'm working from home, like doing my coaching work on my desk and stuff, I know all of the food that I've tracked for the day is literally downstairs, so I can just come down and have it. And there have been days where I've been working from home where I've eaten the majority of my meals by like 12 o'clock, and then I have like one small snacky meal left to have, and I've basically screwed myself over. But that is not happening today. Next meal is another very lacking colour meal. It is a pork bagel, so it is a wholemeal bagel, 10 grams of light clover spread on the bottom part of the bagel, 100 grams weighed, cooked, which I'll explain in a second, of pork shoulder, and then 20 grams or 25 grams of Heinz light mayo in there. I have a pork bagel most days. It's just convenient. I'm pretty sure I said this in my last like full day of eating video that I did. I always have a joint of pork shoulder cooked up in the fridge, and the reason I pick shoulder is because it's not super high in fat. Now, the way I track this, so normally I track my meat raw. I will track it before I cook it. So if I'm making up like meal prep and I've got chicken breast in it, I will weigh that all raw, because as you cook it, depending on how long you cook it for, how you cook it can adjust the measurements, etc. So I always just cook my meat raw. And I will be honest, I do the same thing with pastas, anything like that as well. I will find the dry weight on my MyFitnessPal. Now, it doesn't really matter that much how you do these things. Like as a powerlifter in particular, it doesn't matter that much. As long as you're doing the same thing every time, you will know that you're getting the kind of same quantities. But what I always do is on MyFitnessPal, I will make sure, like if I'm weighing my chicken breast, I have chicken breast raw on MyFitnessPal, because sometimes when you search for the meat chicken breast, it will show you the cooked weight on MyFitnessPal. So basically just check what you're tracking, and it's the same thing with pastas and stuff. Like I've had conversations with people before that really struggle, because on the pack of pasta, it essentially is like a maths equation trying to work out what it is when it's cooked, the macros when it's cooked or whatever versus raw. So I just find like wholemeal penne pasta dry on MyFitnessPal. It doesn't really matter what brand, because they're all going to be pretty much the exact same. And I will just track the raw weight, basically. Long story short. So I do the same thing with pork shoulder. So normally I would track my meat raw, like I say, but because I'm cooking up an entire joint of pork, can't really do that. So I essentially just searched on MyFitnessPal roasted pork shoulder joint, and I just use that, and that will do. And I have it most days, and I always track it the exact same, so there is consistency across the board there. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna eat this before it gets cold. I also forgot to turn the heat, like I don't know what it's called on the toaster, like how toasted it's gonna be, the heat on the toaster up from when I had my pita breads earlier, so it's a little bit under toasted, but that's fine. I'm too hungry to wait for it to go any longer. And yeah, anyway, macros on the screen. Meal number 3. I am getting through my meals a bit quicker than I should, but it's fine because I'm hoping to train. I should be in the gym about 3, so all is good. Okay, so finished work in very good time. It is like 2:10. I'm currently making my pre-workout bowl of cereal. I've got 65 grams of crunchy nut flakes, and then I'm going to have 200 mils of semi-skimmed milk in there as well. I go through phases with my pre-workout meals. I've had this cereal in the cupboard for ages, and I just opened it the other day thinking maybe I should just work my way through that. Nothing to really say. I've just, finished work about 10-15 minutes ago, and then I wrapped up Zuko's birthday presents, which I'll put a picture of on the screen. I need to wait for my boyfriend to get home before we can give him any of them, so I'm a bit antsy. But my plan is basically gonna eat the cereal in front of the TV. So very strange pre-workout ritual I have at the moment is I will sit in front of the TV after work and just watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy with my pre-workout meal, occasionally 2, depending on how I'm feeling. And then I will go and train. It essentially just switches my brain off from work mode. Like every single message in my inbox is replied to, every email is replied to, all is done, everyone's checked in with, all programs are completely up to date. So I have no reason to be in work mode now. So phone will be on Do Not Disturb, and I'm just gonna watch an episode of Grey's Anatomy to just get out of work mode. And then I'll go get my main lifts done. My boyfriend will probably be home about halfway through those. Then we will go walk Zuko. I need to go pick up a vintage parcel from one of the lockers down the road. I've been obsessed with Vinted lately, but I am refusing to buy anything else on there for a while, so I don't need anything now. But yeah, I'm gonna go pick up that on the dog walk, and then we'll go to the gym and do accessories after. But I'm feeling pretty good. This is the most on track a Tuesday has been for a while, so hoping to continue with that, but we will see. Very happy. Just gonna eat my cereal in front of the TV. Okay, so very out of breath. I've just finished my training session. It is 5:10, so I won't talk you through my session in this video. The last video I posted will be a recap of this session. So out of breath. So full day of eating update. So have my cereal pre-workout. Now I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit silly with this, didn't really think ahead. Should have saved my yogurt bowl for right now because it's going to be like an hour and a half until I go do my accessories. So probably should have saved some carbs to have now. However, I didn't do that, but that's fine. I feel decent, so it's not a problem. And I know for my accessories, I'll just sort of suck it up. So what I am going to do though, just kind of bridge the gap a little bit, is go in and have a 1 scoop protein shake. I always have my Protein Impact Whey strawberry cream flavour. Just 1 scoop mixed with, I'm so out of breath, mixed with like 250 ml of water, 300 ml of water. I'll have that quickly, walk Zuko, go straight to the gym, come home, and then I will have my chicken, chickpea and halloumi bowl that I made a reel for on Instagram. So rather than showing you guys later, I'll just put it on the screen now, a clip of the reel I made. It's one of my favourite meals lately. I'm not a massive fan of chickpeas normally, I'm not gonna lie. But it's like super high fibre obviously because of the chickpeas, high protein, not super high carb, and it's got like an okay amount of fat in. Obviously the halloumi adds to that as well. But really enjoying it. It feels like a nice warm, like wintry, autumny meal. And it's super easy to make. So been having that quite regularly as another way to get like a good hit of fibre in. So basically, yeah, plan is I'll have my scuba protein powder now at like just after 5, go walk Zuko, come back, go straight to the gym, come home, and it'll probably be about 8ish when we get home, providing everything's on time, and we can get on the kit that we need. And then I'll have my dinner, and then I will chill for an hour or so, hopefully be in bed about 9:30 tonight, so I can get up about 6, half 6 tomorrow, and actually feel somewhat well slept. But yeah, that will wrap up the full day of eating. Let me tell you my end of day macros. So current macro split. Goal for training days is 245 that was so wrong, I'm so out of breath. Goal for training days is 175 grams of protein, 245 grams of carbs, and 75 grams of fat. And essentially fibre, I just try and keep 30 grams plus every single day. So end of day macros, to be fair, I've done a pretty good job here. So end of day macros, once I've eaten everything, will be 175 protein, 245 carbs, so both of those are bang on, 77 fat, so 2 grams over there, which is absolutely fine, it's still within range, and finishing with 34 grams of fibre. So I am very happy with that. It's a good day of eating. If I do start to feel like I need something extra before the gym, I'm not going to let my workout suffer just because I was silly with planning. I will literally just have an apple, which is like 13 grams of carbs or something, and just go a little bit over on my carbs. Which, to be honest, I might just have that with my protein shake now, just so that I've got something else in my system. But generally, that doesn't happen very often. Usually I would plan and be sensible, but I wasn't today, but that's fine. So yeah, anyway, wrap up the video here. Thank you if you made it to the end. Good aim to put 2 of these out every single month. My diet doesn't change much though, so they're probably all going to be somewhat similar, but I like to try and explain my thought process behind things as well. But yeah, anyway, thank you if you've made it to the end, and I'll see you in a few days for the next video.